as we're sharing our own story, how do we actually get to the core of the truth of what we're trying to articulate?
So, yeah, there's a piece about understanding what makes us tick, like helping you understand what makes you tick includes, I'm going to use you as an example, okay? That if you wanted to give a talk, for instance, or develop a program, a teaching program, or an online program, or just a talk, that getting to know you in such a way that I understand why, not just your why. This is a distinction that we teach, not just your why, but why you. What is it about your experience? What is it about CK's life arc that makes it important for you to share what you want to share? That piece, like you might say, it's important to me because I care about humanity, and sharing ideas positively influences humankind, which is true and beautiful and inspiring. And yet that next layer of why you? Why is it important? What happened to you that made the sharing ideas meaningful to you? And it could be, my guess is, that you shared earlier that people told you, I can't handle your questions, so stop being curious. Now, human nature is such that that would imprint upon you an importance. Wait a second, I know this doesn't feel right. So this little version of CK is like, you're stifling me doesn't feel right. And so I'm going to lock that away and say, I know this doesn't feel good, but the curiosity felt good. So I'm going to be purposeful in my curiosity. And look what happens. Life experience after life experience says, hush, stop asking so many questions. And yet this spark remains unextinguished, still burns. And now you have the wherewithal as an adult, as a conscious sovereign being, to do something about it. Nobody can stop you and say, don't be curious. You say, F you, I'm going to be curious, and I'm going to go on the internet and turn on, and I'm going to be curious.
Yeah.
That to me, that's your why and why you all at once. And you can't stop that. Life can't stop. That is your flame burning. And as long as you're connected to that first, the how, the points you want to teach, the slideshow or the video, or all the specific hows are gravy. If you're really tuned into your why and why you, the rest is details. We can build a slideshow, we can build a curriculum, we can build a framework around that and have you remember what you want to talk. You can do the exercises that'll drive that point home. We can find the right words. All of that stuff is secondary to your knowing why you.
I love that. Thank you. So let me recap what you just said, okay? So one,
my wife taught me that, by the way. I got to give her credit. She taught me. I was always talking about the why. What's your why? What's your why? Which is important, as we've demonstrated. But that why you is such a sweet, sublime, brilliant extra layer.
For sure. So the number one thing is identify my why, as in, why do I want to talk about it? Not from the intellectual point of view, but from the visceral point of view. I feel good when I get curious, as using myself as an example. I don't know why. It doesn't matter why. I'm just a curious person. So one. And the second layer that you talked about is why me? What is the origin story of why I'm curious? And I can share my childhood days, got shunned, turned into a weakness rather than an asset, and a pivotal story along the way, found a path, podcast, as a way to now channel my curiosity in a positive, productive, synergistic, value-driven way. Here's my hero's journey. Did I hear that accurately?
You did, and perfectly. And why that's important is because people can relate to you that way. When you said, my teacher said, stop asking those questions, I felt your pain. I felt, yeah, I had teachers tell me to shut up too. That feels crappy. We're brothers instantly because of that. If someone hears that and they hear, oh yeah, I've had that experience. It might not be the same exact thing. It might not be the teacher. It could have been their boss or their spouse or their parent, but they can relate to that experience. At least the people who will be drawn to you will relate to that experience.